Hello, getting my composure together. Hello, welcome everyone. I am Retro81. Yes, okay. Just as you can see, I got some beverages here, some burners, and I'm checking to make sure I have the power. Yes, I do. Yes, okay. Got some beverages here. Half drink Gatorade. Got a blue cherry Gatorade and spring water here with the blue cherries, Gatorade, and the Domino's pizza and the cornbread I made. Maybe I can go Super Saiyan. No, the world will never know, huh? It's not taking three licks of the center of a Tootsie Pop, but it is what it is, right? Eating food. Now I'm just online to eat food because uh, well, I need to. I got to eat something. Yes. In fact, probably won't eat all of this, but that's just because my eyes are bigger than my stomach, and that's part of the problem I find I have with being like depressed or in a state where I don't feel like it's like I'm not motivated, and I'm motivated to be in shape, not motivated to do anything. I should be, but that takes money because that's lifestyle change too. Like I know it's a choice. It is true, everyone, that it is a choice to uh to not eat this kind of food. That is a choice, but it's also a lifestyle change. If you don't believe me, try it yourself. Try to do these things, but try to have the money to buy vegetables. Try to have the money to buy fruits. Try to have the money and have the willpower. Have the money and then not only that, have the fact that you don't have any women in your life. So no sex. Train real hard, no sex ever. Okay. You live my life, live me, being the retro Rizuki 81, you're gonna find that it's really, really, really hard to be in shape. It's really, really hard to live that kind of life because I don't have any sex from women, and I don't have any any protein or nothing. I don't have enough money to buy protein. I've got to pay my bills. You're looking at a guy on SSI sometimes too because he can't get a job. Well, I can get a job, I think, but then it comes to play to time where like I keep running into all these obstacles that stop me from doing what I need to do in life. You see, so there you go. I can't just keep up with my life. Like it's really hard to do these things. Now I'll go on elaborate after about 5 or 10 minutes. I'm gonna eat some food, and you're gonna watch me eat this food. So I don't care. This is what I'm doing. Mm, that tastes good. So hard to just you know I can't be in like boot camp all the time. You feel like you need to get laid and I need to work out so damn hard. Can't do it. No, there's no way. All the time. What's it lead to? Jerking off. Man has needs. That's what happens. So I make this food. There's a cornbread I made. See? I eat some. Yes, sir. I don't think I'm a loser, but I have lost the talent of Shenmue over the years. You see? I used to be like that. You see him on the side of my head? I used to be Ryuzuki. Now I'm eating Domino's pizza. Hmm? That's what it is. I used to work at Domino's. That's about all I can do. When you earn your money, and I guess maybe perhaps the state of Michigan takes it away, or the government takes it away, or someone takes it away. I don't know. Who took away my royalties? I don't know. I have some ideas, but what can I do? Money all gone. Like food, when you digest it, eat it, crap it out. Yep. What can you do? This Verner's is comes from a street in Detroit, Michigan. Everyone, it's actually goes down through Mexican Town, Verner Street, Verner, and goes through Mexican Town. But there was a pharmacist. I think that's the story. There's a pharmacist that came up with a formula, and then he didn't know what to do with it, so he made a soda, and he calls it. He calls it Verner's. So he didn't know what to do with it. Now we have a ginger ale soda. I used to be less educated. I used to be more stupid. I used to be less informed, but I decided to step up and get educated on my own. So I did. Maybe I don't have credentials to prove how smart I believe I am, but I do have the potential in me to uh, to do these things somewhat. But I had already earned royalties through these video games. You see, so I don't think it's really necessary for me to just go back to college and get good grades and do all these things again. I already earned my respect when I was 14 years of age. Shouldn't have to be eating this crappy food. I should be eating the Middle Eastern diet if I had a choice. That's expensive. See? So I gotta eat this. Because I don't have money to buy food. This here is mix and match, 6.49. Mix and match, medium pizzas. That's all I can afford. But that's the problem. You earn your money. Let's feeding that girl fitness trainer's lifestyle. See? That should have been feeding me to be Ryu Hazuki and Jin Kazama. Instead, it's feeding her and her fitness trainer lifestyle. Then she can go do what she wants with other people, whether it's sex, whether it's whatever it is. And I look like shit because of that, too. Imagine she can make kids, make babies, feed the babies with the royalties. I don't know what this happened with these royalties. Honestly, I don't know. It's a problem. Nobody cares. State of Michigan don't care. Uncle Sam don't really care enough, or do they? I don't know. Maybe in other states they might care, where they don't really know me. I don't know. But those royalties do not go in my name. They're feeding other families, putting clothes on their back, on their kids' back, feeding their kids. I don't know where the hell that money went to. Where'd it go? Royalties, teacher. Where'd it go to? You think I didn't want this? I wanted to catch up with you over the years and continue those conversations we had in the changing room. See, but that's the problem. You wanted to leave it at that. You're stuck in 1995, Mr. Raymond Savoy, if you ask me, because you want to keep that money for yourself and deem who you want to have that. You're stuck in that year to me. I'm not stuck in that year. I was moving on all that time and trying to keep up with the martial arts. Oh, I don't live alone. I don't have a woman here. I got my parents. Oh, I got to answer. Yes, I'm on YouTube. Okay. Good night. I should be living with my girlfriend or my wife, whatever. I have. I don't have that. You see. Now let me say this. I have meant. I met. I met a woman on the internet, and she's a good woman to me. I'm very grateful I found her. Uh, I don't want nothing to ruin my relationship with her. I love her very much. I don't want to talk bad about people, but at the same time, I'd rather just make kibasa and sauerkraut sometimes. If I'm living here, I mean, gosh, I don't know. I don't want to. I don't even want to say that, but that's the problem. I gotta hide and put a mask over my Mexican face, over my looks. Put a mask over that. It's cool to some people to be Hispanic, but no, I gotta throw bags and tarps and sheets and shit over that because well, I'm discriminating against for being Hispanic. Some people hate that. Some people say they like your skin tone, but then they don't realize themselves they're treating you like shit because you haven't made up for it in your education. You haven't done anything in your life, so they just, oh, I like your skin tone, but I don't like him. See, it's like I can make up for those things because, um, well, there's a schema over my life since I was age 14. Okay, so I cannot just make up for these things. Uh, the scheme was to take away this degree, take away all the honors and strip him of all his pride, make him look really, really stupid. This is what I think the karate teacher's plan was, and his family's plan that came into class was. Okay, their plan was to make me look really terrible and stupid at times, so that no women like me, so that they only like their family and their sons or daughters, whatever, and they don't like me. Unless they get to know you, I guess, but I didn't know that. Unless they get to know you and they like you, I don't know these things, but this is what I'm trying to figure out on my own. How am I going to know? Nobody tells me nothing. People are just stuck up and snooty around here. I can't just determine these things. I don't know. Here, want my cornbread? I made some cornbread. I made my own cornbread. Whatever the hell it is, you know. I could pretend I'm Southern, and maybe I'd be more liked. I don't know. You tell me. But be myself. Okay. I don't mean to sound like a very miserable person sometimes. Want to be more positive, want to be optimistic, want to look at life from a better perspective, you know. But it's hard. It's hard. Going through the things I've been through, let me tell you, it's very hard. Not the easiest thing to do. If you're just tuning in, well, sure, I'd rather be in something better, but I can't. I don't have money to buy it. I eat garbage. Nobody cares if I'm in shape now. Where I'm living, nobody cares if I'm in shape. Nobody cares if I look good. Nobody cares. See? This is the plan, the scheme of that teacher, I think. Take away all his pride, hoping that I die out here, go insane and die, give the money to your family, and whatever the hell you want. Those talked about royalties. He's hoping I die, I think, that karate teacher, that Raymond guy. It's very different in 1995. I had a very different perspective and look on this guy. I had a lot of respect for him at the time. Um, he was my favorite teacher, but then also there was another teacher, this Michael Hurst. I'll mention his name. Uh, Michael Hurst was I think I'm going to stop me in this for now. Okay, Michael Hurst was a very good man. I think I just put this over here. Okay. Um, okay. Yes. So Mr. Hurst, and I'm saying his name because, well, I have to do this. They told me not to translate the degree or something to anyone, uh, but I should have translated it to myself. I did not. I didn't know any better because they made such a big deal, those Don teachers, not to translate the degree to anyone. But you should have the right to translate it to yourself. See, that's their confidential, that's their private information. It's like a private karate federation, in case everyone didn't know. It's a private karate federation. And that's the problem with this Federation of Karate. It's like they have their own ways. Special private karate federation. It's the same federation that Chuck Norris came from, also known as Carlos Ray. Chuck Norris. He came from this federation. Where was he born, Chuck Norris? Ryan, Oklahoma. Well, my name's Ryan. Ryan Salazar. I'm 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 taught the same religion he's taught, Christianity, the born again faith. He's raised and born in is he raised there? I don't know, but he's born in Ryan, Oklahoma. How about that? It's right by Texas. And so now he stays in Texas still. How old is he? 85, born in 1940. Yeah, time flies. Time really flies. He's still still around. He did karate until like 70, 75 years old. but that's how long you can do it. Did you know Chuck Norris did karate till 70 or 75? I don't believe he does karate now. He's still around, he's alive, but he's so much older, it's hard for him to do the karate now, you see. So, you can do this karate. My karate teachers tell me, Sabam Nim Zigafus tells me that, you can do karate until you're 70 or 75. Then just usually stop at around that age. So that means the kicking, the striking, perhaps even the jumping too. It's just your heart and your body's not the same the older you get. Yes, and I've done this karate. I've done it. I've done all the fancy moves. I've done it. I have to really get my heart in better shape. I have to get like my life going more for me. A lot of conditioning to do to be like the karate warrior, to be the martial arts movie actor. If I was to do that, even at my age, which I like to finish what I start, I really do. I would prefer that, but then again, I don't know if it's even worth it now at this time in my life because, well, is it worth it? Even though I had this karate teacher of Raymond, is Chelsea and Raymond, Chelsea and Savoy, whatever. He tells me, well, he doesn't tell me, but he puts these events on my life through, like here's how I believe it's orchestrated. He's a law enforcement officer in Arizona, like Gilbert, Arizona, or somewhere wherever he's at, or he's in Florida. But he's law enforcement. No matter what, he's law enforcement. So I'm not supposed to say he's law enforcement, but I'm saying he's law enforcement because he doesn't call me, he doesn't write me, he doesn't text me on a phone, he doesn't say nothing to me. This guy, he's like a. It's. I mean, I don't want to think of him as a coward, but I think like, whoa, this guy, he just doesn't care at all. He's not a coward, but he just doesn't give a shit about my life. He wants me to die. This Raymond guy wants me to die. I think he wants me to have problems in this area of Downriver, Michigan. That's why he doesn't say nothing. That's what I'm thinking. That's why he doesn't say nothing. He doesn't care. He wants to say he moved on, and then yet he still carries on a relationship with this Sarah Lucy Bach throughout those years because she's given him sex and pussy and all that shit. And this is the problem here. This is what I'm really thinking of this Sarah Bach. She wanted to cut off ties with me too. As long as she could steal that degree from me, take that from me, then yes, I will have ties with Ryan's karate teacher, and I will go to the bank and say, "Ha ha, I got your royalties. Ha ha, I got your money." Same thing as those scooping kids. They're the same way. Ha ha, we're better. Ha ha, in your face. Ha ha, we got your money. Ha ha, you're nothing. Ha ha. That's what they do. Now, I'm no fool of yesterday or whatever the hell it is. I'm no fool here. There you go. You know, they take my money and then they laugh at me. The state of Michigan does the same thing. Okay? Just a dumb, stupid Mexican guy coming in here to our dojang doing all his fancy moves. Who does he think he is? Well, I think I am what you guys made me too, and what I made myself. We did agree upon these things that I would do the fight choreography for Shenmue. I would do the fight choreography for this Tekken Bandai Namco Jin Kazama character. I would do these things and I would get my royalties and I would live a better life. I would be a martial arts movie actor with that money. You see, that would sustain my living, my lifestyle. No, it did not because discrimination, because of oh, discrimination. Why? He's bipolar. He's bipolar. He's bipolar. Oh, he's bipolar. See, there's the problem right there. Bipolar. There's like a stereotype of sticker of shit that people want to say. They want to say it because they can get away with taking my money. And that's not right. No, that's not right. So, anyway, to be more positive in the broadcast, yes, I'm going to talk about this Michael Hurst guy now. So, um, Kyosan M. Hurst, he was a teacher at one time in my life. I never got a degree under him, but I was supposed to in 1997. I trained with Kyosan M. Hurst. Yes. Oh, I already opened one. Open another one. So I already opened Gatorade. This one I just opened. I forgot. I forgot because I don't have a quality lifestyle. I don't want to be negative. Let's be more positive here. Why do I make up excuses? I don't always make up excuses, but I try to find reasons why cause and effect happens the way it does. Lately, that's how I am. I know they depict Ryu Hazuki to be a hard worker and earn everything. Well, I have done these things. I have worked hard in my history. My karate teachers know that I was a paper route boy. They know all my history from the past. They probably forgot it at times now, but I'm sure they know about my history. They knew me. They went through my medical records probably because I told them where I go. Henry Ford Behavioral Health, in my history, 1995. Everybody was trying to figure out what was wrong with my what was wrong with me. Everyone was trying to figure out in 1995 what is wrong with this guy. How can we help him? See, so that's the past too, and that's still real. Now, this Michael Hurst guy, I can remember a time where, okay, I didn't have a ride home, and so he gave me a ride home. This Michael Hurst guy. Now, at first, my own parents didn't want him to give me a ride home. Uh, One of them didn't want me to give me a ride home. They said well, we don't want to impose because we actually talked to one of his parents. I had his I had his home phone number. I needed to ride the karate training. Oh, one of my parents gave me the ride to the karate training, but and this is going back like when I was 16 years old. I was 16. Okay. Now, what happened is I had to have a ride home that day, and the teacher's not supposed to actually do that, but he did it because you know I asked, and I was, he knows me. He knows I'm a good, noble person. At the time, I was a different kind of person. I was always like a Christian thinking, you know, all that Bible reading kind of person, all that. I'm taught that, but I didn't, I didn't know how to pursue those things the right way. I didn't know what to do about being this Christian thinking type of person, whatever. I didn't know how to do those things. Okay. See, my family, my parents didn't want me too involved with the church ever. They didn't want me to go to like Cass to get help the poor. They didn't want me to get too involved in the church. So I'm going to church. This is the problem here too. I want the legal authorities to know this in the history. I'm going to a church, and there's times where I can go to help the poor at Cass at Woodhaven Worship Center. I can't go to Cass. My parents say no, you can't go, Ryan. They tell me no, so they don't trust the pastors or whatever enough to let me go with them. Okay, I think that's what it was. So I can't get involved with actually the inner workings of the church because my parents said no. So they don't want me to get to know women over all these years. Don't get, don't have sex with them. Don't do this. Don't do that. So that never happens. So I can understand where these teachers are coming from too, in a way. Um, don't get to know the girls too much. Don't do this. I think what it is, they wanted me to wait till I was 18. No, that's too early. More like 27, 20, 27, 30 years old, actually. But probably wait until I'm 25, 27. Okay, you're going to meet, they're thinking in their minds, my own parents, that you're going to meet the right girl. You're going to meet the right woman, girl, whatever. You're going to fall in love and you're going to be married one day. You're going to fall in love. You're going to have a good job. You're going to get married. And then you can have sex after you're married. Put the ring on a finger after you're married. Then you can have sex. Then you can live your life and be normal. Then you can have hormones once you're 25, 27. Like, no, mom and dad, that's not how life works. Get your mind in order here. I don't want to be disrespectful to my parents, but this is the way they were thinking. Because they wouldn't even let me go to like casts. They wouldn't let me go get involved with the church. They wouldn't let me, if I would. Now, if I'm a Christian, I know it's wrong to have sex before marriage. I know that's called fornication. That's called adultery, whatever. Well, if I had to make the mistake of um, sex before marriage, ooh, well, whatever. I'm just saying, if I had to make the mistake of sex before marriage, according to the doctrines of Christianity, then so be it. But then I'll get on the, well, I mean, whether I'm on my knees or standing up or in the shower or on the toilet, doesn't matter. I don't want to be disrespectful to Christianity, but I can say a prayer. Oh, forgive me, God, for having sex. Oh, and then this is the problem. This is where I'm taught to think like more oral all my life, and that's life. Gee, golly, God, please forgive me for having sex before marriage. Blah blah blah. Now, that would never happen because I had very strict family background. I don't like to say this about my parents, but I love them, but they are so strict. And I love them very much, but they're very strict people. I have to respect them no matter what. That's what my background is. And then I can't get to know women. I can't get to know anyone because of that. Now, take that, for instance, and combine that with these karate teachers that didn't understand that. Okay. I understand where they're coming from, these teachers. I really do. And I like to try to meet them to the halfway point and say, okay, I can understand where you're coming from for me not to be anyone, for me not to have royalties and that. I can kind of understand his teacher. I think he didn't want me to have the royalties too, maybe because my parents were not being good parents to me. There's good and bad parents, okay? There's good and bad people. They're very good people, but they're not good at being parents, I think. They need a lot of lessons on that. My own parents. But I love them. They're all parents. They're the only parents I ever have. I still love them. You see? That's what I'm dealing with all my life. I'm still dealing with it. But I do believe that I have deserved and earned these royalties all my life too, because I did earn it in 1995. But that teacher just didn't know what the hell to do with me because those parents, my parents know I needed sex probably. They knew I masturbated at 14. They're not going to let me. No. Too much of a Christian Bible thumpers. There's a problem. I don't like religion because of the way I'm taught religion is like to be screwed up in the head, and my whole life has been ruined mostly because of that. Yeah. Now this Michael Hurst, Joseph Hurst, he's he agreed, and his mother said, "No, it's no problem. You can give him a ride home." And so we actually did that. I went to karate class, and then they gave me a ride home. Okay, they gave me a ride home. Now, uh, not they, but that one teacher gave me a ride home, and yeah, I remember this, you know. But like yeah, so he gave me a ride home, and he says he puts the radio on. He says, "What's your favorite kind of music?" And I say, "Oh, well, since I'm like taught and brainwashed by the churches and Christianity, that I'm taught to believe that I know it's not respectful to say that, but that's the way I think. I'm taught these things. I'm taught to uh, think that God is the answer, and then God will heal your anxiety, and God will do everything you need. Well, I'm taught that, but this is the problem here. Um, didn't work out for me as I planned. But I'm taught what I tell Michael. I say, uh, uh, oh, put on. I like Christian music. I mean, everybody's taught that. If you're taught that, and then but nobody can help the way you're. If you're taught a certain way, this Christianity faith, nobody can help that. Okay, nobody can help if you're taught that way by people from Amish times or something, castrated, whatever, living, whatever. I don't know what to say. It's crazy as hell, but yeah, it just I've got to come out and say these things, I really do, because this is like for reference of my background, you know, legal purposes. I'm doing these videos, everyone. I'm doing this for legal purposes. Okay, so you know, all right. So I tell them my favorite music is Christian music. Okay, Christian or whatever. I wanted to say that because I wanted so bad to not have anxiety since 1995. I wanted so bad to not have depression problems, and that would mean I wanted not to take the medication if at the time I knew that was going to ruin my whole life and kill me pretty much and take my whole life taking psychotropic medicine, which I did not know that at the time. That's why they call Shenmue the undead Noid, like he's a zombie. Well, I've been on medication since 1995. See, so that's why they call Shenmue undead Noid. They don't just tell you that though, but they want me to figure it out. Yeah, I'm Shenmue. I really am. But they don't want you to say that. No one will respect me as that because I don't look like that, right? I don't have the perfect body I once had in 1995. I don't look sexy as hell like I did in 1995. I took psychotropic medication. Why don't all you young people try that? Try taking psychotropic medication for a lot of years in your life and say that, oh, I like this guy more. I like that guy more as Ryuzuki and Shenmue. Oh, I don't like Ryan Salazar. Try that and see where I'm coming from here, okay? Because this is why I have the problems I have. I know it's not your problem, but it's been my problem, and this crap is put in my lap over all this time, and I had earned my royalties. I could never get out of this living situation. I can never get out of this house I'm living in. I can never get out of my own life. I can never have my own sex life. I can never have any kind of life because of these royalties that were never given to me. Okay? They were never given to me. So I never had a chance. Uh huh. Uh huh. Yeah, I never had a chance. Was that reference to? Never had a chance. It doesn't matter. You know, yeah, it's bad. It's pretty bad, my history. But this is the problem. I want to be loyal to, you know, the woman I'm with, and I'm going to be that way. So this is my choice. Yes. And so, you know, it's a problem I got too with being like this way and no money all these years. Well, I want a relationship. I want to be in love, even if it means that I'm a different person sometimes. Whatever, whatever. It's just hard. It's hard with me. But anyway, going back to that time, trying to stay on subject here. So Mr. Chilson Hurst says, "Oh yes, Your favorite music is that. Oh, okay. I told him, I said, well, maybe they should have something called Christian karate. Christian karate. Now, that's just something that I thought of at the top of my head because there was an ad in some bulletin or something locally in the area of Taylor or something. Oh, something of the nature called Christian karate. Well, that's something to think about and consider. It's interesting to think about, but that's just the way I'm taught is in Christianity. And that's why I, you know, I like don't understand a lot of things in life. The real world, I'm not really exposed to the real world enough. So I'm trying to get exposed to the real world, even if it means availing myself on the internet. See, so he tells me, he says, "Oh wow, that's interesting. Yes, um, that would be something, right?" But then he says, a teacher, he says, "You know what kind of music I like this to, Ryan, is classical music." He says, "Now classical music, that's an interesting subject, and that's a very good music to listen to for your mind." He says, he's like, "Ah, yes, classical music, like Beethoven and I don't know what else, symphony, Beethoven. I don't know the names, but he did name. I think he named Beethoven at one time. But it's just that kind of music is good for your mind. It is, and I do like it sometimes. But then I don't like have the um um I don't have the right background to do these things. Sometimes like I just don't have it, but I think I could have it nowadays. So taking care of my mind, having a good mind, healthy mind. Classical music is good for your mind. But then again, making mistakes with girls and having sex if you need it because your hormones drive you insane, that's also good for your mind too when you're younger and you need that. Okay. Now, that's just what I'm saying in general speaking. Okay. Uh, I am a certain age now, and you know, maybe I'm in a relationship. Maybe I choose to be loyal, and maybe that's the way I am. You see, so it all applies to your life as your life changes. These standards, these values in your life. What do you value? Do you value a certain standard? Do you value principles that you don't want to break? What do you value as a martial artist? What do you value as a man? What are your principles? What are your ethical values? What are they? See, so I'm not like a bad man to me. I'm not a bad man, but I just, that's the way I see it. So he says classical music. Okay. We're driving home, we're listening to classical music. We talk a little bit about class, about my other teacher, the one that moved away. It just talk and me and Mr. Hurst. Um, this guy, his hair used to be blonde, but I've seen him in recent pictures. Vaguely, I've seen him. His hair's not blonde anymore, but it used to be very blonde, very much looking like the actor Brad Pitt. I thought a lot. Um, you see, so I really respected this person. He had blonde hair, I think blue eyes. I think his eyes were blue. Um, I respected him a lot. Maybe he had brown eyes, blue eyes. I don't remember, but he had definitely had blonde hair. And that was not. I don't think that was dyed ever. I think his hair was naturally blonde. Uh, you know, like yes. So it is. Sometimes people with blonde hair, their hair changes over time, and I don't know why that is. It might get darker, Might get, I don't know if it'll get lighter, but I think it like gets darker over time if you're blonde hair person. Oh, but anyway, this guy was a cool guy. He reminded me so much of Axel Stone. You know, the Axel Stone from Streets of Rage. He really reminded me of that guy a lot because it's like I don't know if that he was. I'm not. Maybe I'm not supposed to say this about him, but um, I can remember him wearing like this in class sometimes a light blue headband, and he had the hair coming down blonde, looking like that Axel Stone guy doing the karate. I wonder if those teachers actually made him that, but he didn't say much about that. Yeah, it's like a real Axel Stone guy to me, but he wasn't supposed to say nothing. Maybe he wasn't. I don't know. He's like the real Axel Stone to me, this guy. And he's really good in karate too. This guy was cool to me, you know. But uh, anybody can go through things, you know, and they can die of something. I don't know what became of this guy. I don't know what became of him. I haven't seen him in many years. I think I seen him one time in this neighborhood at a neighbor's house, but I don't really know the neighbors to begin with. I don't really know them that well anyway. You know, it's just it's weird, you know, because maybe I should have said hi, but I wasn't sure it was him because his hair was not blonde when I thought I saw him at a neighbor's house, uh, outside on the lawn. And I think he had some kids with him. Yeah. Oh, I don't know what to do about some people in my history that you don't see them and their hair changes from blonde to brown hair or whatever. You know, I don't know what to do about that. I just keep going. You know, I don't know what to do. Should I say hi or whatever? Because I wasn't sure that that was my teacher. He looked different, and um, but yeah, I I have these memories in my history, and they're flashbacks too, and they're always in my mind of this martial arts and stuff I do, stuff I've done. Um, so okay, so we're driving in the car. He has I think it's a Caprice Classic or something, Grand Marquis. I don't know what it is, but he drives that, and he drives me home. We pass by Saint Mary's Catholic Church. He asked me. He says, "What church do you go to?" And he asked me if I go to Saint Mary's. Maybe I should have went to Saint Mary's. You know, I don't know. It's in Melville, Michigan, but I don't think I've ever been there ever. And so, you know, yeah, it's just like we might have talked about girls a little too because I did like girls, but I never really did much about girls because, well, I did something about them, but I didn't do enough about them. And that's probably because they didn't know what to do about me. But that's just life for me. See. So anyway, I'm the karate martial artist guy. I'm doing these things. He drives me home, drops me off, and that's it. Okay, that's one thing I remember about this guy. Uh, this teacher was a cool guy. Um, got to know him a little over years of training with him. The other teacher, uh, there's another teacher too. Talk about Joey a little. Now Joey, he's a cool instructor when I knew him in the '90s. Um, I remember he knew that I had bullies, people that wanted to pick fights with me and stuff. So he taught me the first lesson I had with him. He was teaching me how to do quick attacks against bullies if I had to, which I didn't really have to do that. But it's a lesson. It's part of the training. So, you know, it gives me a training routine, something to do. Um, the training I could do was more than quick attacks, but that was part of the training too for the lesson that day. Um, yeah, he was not like a bad guy. It didn't seem that way or nothing, but everybody's human, you know. I remember he had a relationship with the instructor Raymond's sister. It seemed like at the time. Um, I felt like even the instructor's sister had a crush on me at times. This Mr. Savoy, and there were there were different women in a class. They thought I was like 18, 19 years of age, and they had like these feelings for me because I'm going in there looking like a military male personnel, and I don't look like I'm a 14-year-old kid with mental illness. No, I'm not. I mean, I might be a kid, but I look like a man. I fool everyone, make them thinking that I'm from Thailand, make them think I'm from another country, make them think that I'm from somewhere else, and make them think that I'm like the special ops of police. Like I'm some kind of excuse me, make people think that I'm some kind of special military personnel. I'm going in there doing these martial arts really well, like I'm trained really well because I did train, but I my training just made me be more professional at the time. And yes, so I was a very strong uh, person at the time, very thick body, very. I looked exactly like Ryuzuki's body in 1995, and that's why I'm different, very different. So you know, I had the body of that Ryuzuki. When I would put on my jeans, you notice how in Shenmue 1 and 2, when Ryuzuki's dressed with his clothes on, he looks very sexy. That's exactly the way I would look with my clothes on, very sexy. So, I can't just say that I was not Ryuzuki ever. I was not Jin ever. No, I am these people. But I can't be this way without my money. I can't be this way without my money. I can't be this nowadays that, see, I have to get some other money to be this way. But this is the problem. The people in this community that I'm from, some people that are like administrative authorities in Riverview or Melvindale, or I don't know about Melvindale now, but probably in Riverview, Lincoln Park, maybe Wyandotte. I don't know about Wyandotte. Maybe Wyandotte too. It's right by Riverview, especially Riverview and Lincoln Park, and maybe some other community. But they don't want me to make it as a martial arts movie actor. I think they don't want me to make it in life. They want me to die right in this area. I would imagine, just like my teacher probably wants me to just not live and not survive in this area because um, it's all about them. It's all about their glory. It's all about, well, who are we? Who are we? Who am I from that year? See, not just from that year, but that's the way I started. And that's the way I would like to continue. But who am I, though? You see, I wanted to finish what I started all this time. And that girl I dated knows that. But this is the problem I got. People don't want to accept me for who I really am, for what I'm supposed to be. People don't want to accept that. Some certain people, oh, you know. And what's funny, I get the feeling that this gym teacher from Riverview, Michigan, because I did not know to have sex in the changing room. Not in the changing room, but because I didn't know to have sex. He he doesn't like me to think I'm special, I think, this gym teacher. Maybe that's the feeling I get. He doesn't like me to think I'm special. I'm not, you know, of the background he is from. Exactly. Maybe he can kind of understand where I'm coming from a little. He's a Texan too. He's also a Texan. But I don't think he's got the moral background, the ethical background that I've been raised to believe. Like, so I don't think this gym teacher, knows me that way. He doesn't know me. He never knew me as this Ryozuki, a talented person, sexy looking guy. You know, this teacher's name goes by, was it Kevin Hawley? I don't know what his name was. Um, there's other teachers at that Riverview High School too that don't really see. Mr. Hawley kind of took a liking to me, I think, or he wanted me to think that I took a like that he took a liking to me. He wanted me to think that maybe. I don't know what it was. I remember one time he told me, he said, Ryan, if you keep on working out like this, give me a workout regimen. So keep on working out like this, you're gonna look like that guy in a picture in the magazine. One day, you're gonna look just like that. Well, I might look like that sometimes, but even if I kind of look like that, it still is not enough. See, I don't look like that enough because different reasons why, but I'm not going to go into it right now. But let me talk about this math teacher I had. This math teacher, Mr. Riley. Um, Maybe I don't want to talk about him. I don't know. Like, let me think. That guy was in my history too, but I don't think he ever liked me. I was getting the material of algebra somewhat, but then I actually learned algebra more in college. I learned it more. I passed elementary algebra courses, and I could even excel into the next one. But you know, um, I don't have everything in order for me because I've got discrimination everywhere I turn. You see, no girl would want to have sex with me because I live next door to the Scoopin people, I think. Those Scoopins and the karate teacher, Raymond Savoy, that is related to the Scoopin people, ruin my life to take me down. That's what police do. They take you down over time. They take you down because they want, this is their whole concept of the police forces, to take something down, to tear, to knock it down, to deteriorate it. You know how you you build something up from a foundation. Well, this is what the police did to me over time. I built up my foundation in 1995. They wanted to destroy that and take all that foundation away from 1995 and give that to their family. Okay, that isn't right. I'm sorry. That's wrong. That's not right. I'm sorry, everyone. That is so wrong. That is so evil and stupid to do that to anybody. So you can't just do that to someone. They, but they did it anyway, and they got away with it. It isn't right. So I don't know what to do about it. Got me. I don't know what to do about it. Um, you know, like, um, anyway, I had my foundation set and everything set for me to be a certain way. But then, they knew, I think, that I was taking medication over the years and time, but I didn't know I should have taken advantage if the if ever the few times that I was availed to have sex. Like if I was ever availed the opportunity to have sex. Here's the problem. I didn't know I should have taken advantage of that. See, the reason I talk about sex so damn much, everybody, is because that's like a cure for anxiety. That's sometimes my problem. Big problem with anxiety I've had. But I talk about sex a lot because I've had problems with anxiety a lot. Can anxiety kill you? I don't know. But it's really, really bad anxiety if it gets to you. You can't even breathe sometimes with anxiety. So, this is the problem I've had. Um, I don't want to have to take like a medicine that is terrible, like for anxiety. No, I need to have the natural medicine. I need sex in my life. I mean, I want to live too. I want to survive. I want to live. I don't want to die. I think I want to have sex. See? That's life. That is life. And that's part of the reason I talk about those things. So, be myself, talk about this and that. Favorite teacher, favorite karate teacher, yes. Um, yeah. So, yeah. I'm gonna talk now about this. Uh, well, let's stay on the subject here while I got this going here. So you see, these people. I want to say these people in my history, these karate teachers. While I don't like saying their names, while I don't like exposing them, while I don't like admitting these things, I might have to have this for legal references, for legal purpose of references, because I don't have my human rights acknowledged. Okay, I don't have my human rights acknowledged. I believe that my human rights are ignored and they're not valued at all. Let's the sunlight out. So yes, I think that I need to talk about this, and if I have to tell the whole planet or the whole country about these thoughts, well, I believe I'm somebody. I'm the real Shenmue guy, you know, and that's what's not acknowledged. That's what's not brought up in history. I don't think that's right for me not to be acknowledged as that because I did do these moves. I did all the moves for Shenmue, or I did the moves for Shenmue, and they used those moves and put them in the video game of the Shenmue martial arts. They've used some Muay Thai I've done and put it in the Shenmue 2. They've used some karate I did, karate styles, put it in the Shenmue 1 and 2. Uh, they've used different techniques and moves I've done for martial arts, and they put it in Shenmue 1 and 2. And 3, too. See, 3 has got some martial arts, but it doesn't have that much martial arts. 3 is like a 3 is like a joke with Shenmue 1 and 2, if you ask me. But just that. And Tekken, there's some of my martial arts in Tekken also for this Jin Kazama guy. Yes, there's some of my martial arts in that too. This drive through roundhouse came from 1997, training with Kyosan and Michael Hurst. And because I couldn't, at the time, I couldn't do a regular roundhouse kick. So I did a drive through roundhouse kick. And that's what they used for Jin Kazama in Tekken. Yes. Later on, they used that. And they did. I know how they did it because I train with these guys. Yeah. So I'm going to conclude this video here. Thank you, everybody, for watching my YouTube channel. And I'm Rich Ruzuki81.